Alright, today on the workbench I've got kind of a project here that I've already started just a little bit. This is a Bachmann HOGE 70-ton diesel, and it did have a decoder in it. Did have is the key phrase here. I've already taken this apart, which you can kind of see. But it had this decoder in it, and if you look at that board, that thing is burnt pretty bad. It's unusable. So I'm going to replace this board in this. I've got this, this is just an old 2-function board. It's an NCE D102SR. You can read that up here in the corner. I just had this laying around. I'd just taken it out of an old Atlas that I replaced a decoder in, put sound in it. That was that S1, Atlas S1. I've got a video, just a few videos back. But anyway, I'm going to put this board in this, and I've already done a little bit of prep work on this, so let's kind of go through what I've already done. In the shell, I'm not going to be able to reuse the old bulbs, so I've already taken and made up some new LEDs, and I've got them. I don't know if you can see this or not. Yeah, you can see it right there. Well, actually this one in the back. I've already put those in, glued them in. That way I wouldn't have to wait. Same with the front. I've got one up there. So let's get started here. Hopefully this won't be too long of an install. It shouldn't take that long. The other thing that I've done is I made this board up that'll sit down in here like that. That'll give the decoder some place to go, and the weight goes up on top just like that. So I think I've got everything pretty well made up. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Of course, these are all pickups. While I'm here, I will take and put some lube on this. Let me find me something more suitable. I'll just use a flat screwdriver. Get some of that in there. I always like to do this when I'm installing decoders. Okay, that ought to be good for that. We'll put that away. So what I'll have to do now, put this the right way. That'll go like that. And I'll drill a couple of holes so I can bring the wires up. This will sit basically right here. like that. Now I may have to modify this weight just a little bit. So they had it. Of course, I may just take it out. I hate to take that weight out. You can see where it burnt the weight. So let's maybe I can attach this weight. Oh, maybe I'll cut off the nubs. Really like to keep that if I could. Yep. I'm losing my mind here. That went in there like that. Actually, that's the, yeah. Okay, this is the front. This actually went on here like this, and then the screws. Okay, so saying this is the front, I'll probably set that like that. I'll end up having to take that off, that, and that off. That'll leave me with the two back here on the back. Now, we'll worry about that later. Let me mark this as the front. So let's see what we can do here. I need to take all this old stuff off because I don't want to solder wire to that. Maybe I can get that to fall off. Yep. Come off of there. Okay, so I've got all my wires off. Now I can go ahead and start the process of adding back. You know, maybe, just maybe, I use this. I can probably set my decoder. Well, I don't want to do that because it'll be up too high. Okay. Get this back out. I'll drill a few holes. That way I can run my wires up. And we won't have to worry about them getting into anything. Do the same up here in the front. Get all the little burrs off. Okay, there's that. And then I'll need a couple. So that'll set, I'll probably set that all the way up there. That way I can put that screw down through. So now I need a couple here for these two wires. So let me drill a couple more just in front. Of this. And I'll have to add some resistors to the lights. Like I say, this is just a replacement decoder. They had this at the club the other day, and I'm not sure what happened to it. But they said they put it on the track, and when they put it on the track and turned the power on, all of a sudden they had smoke out of the original decoder. So I've got those. Here's my motor wires. Well, come on. That up through there. That up through there. anywhere. Okay. There's all of our wires. Now, put this screw down through here. May have to cut it off just a little bit. Yep. I wonder. I could put that in there upside down like that. But I don't think I will. Just want to cut that screw off. And I use a pair of Knipex cutters for that. So there's that one. Go ahead and cut the other one off. That over here. So there we've got that. Now I'll get out some double-sided tape. And that's a Gorilla tape that I put under there. So I'm not touching anything. The screws. I was looking at the traces and everything to make sure that. Let me pull this off. I think I'm going to turn this decoder around. Since my engine something to press back up with. Okay, since the motor wires are up here, we'll go ahead and flux all this stuff up, and I can go ahead and solder them in. And this I'll have to add a little bit of wire too, looks like. Okay, so now my motor are the very ends. The soldering gun here. Nope, I need to tin those. And I know that these go over here on the end. Or ends. And then I've got my pickups, and I'll take and put a piece of wire between the two. And I think the way I'll do that, let me get out some pieces of wire. A piece of red, and I don't have a piece of black, not a small used piece, so I think I'll just use this piece of purple. Go ahead and strip this off. Might as well do both ends at the same time. The soldering iron. There's that. Cut that somewhat in half. And I'm just going to use this purple on both sides. Okay, now I need to flux. Actually, I've already fluxed those. I need to tin that. I don't know why I try to do that like that. I get in a hurry, and it doesn't do any good. Okay, there's that. Some heat shrink. Some more heat shrink. Yep, that didn't work. Didn't hold. Let me try this one again. There we go. Now we can run these up. Those will run up to, yeah. Actually, what I want to do is strip that just a little bit. Let me put a piece of heat shrink on here, and then I'll get some flux. Tin that up. Got that. Put our heat shrink across it. And I've already got this tinned, and this one goes, let's see now, Our red wire should go right here. So if I can get that. Okay, there's that. Do the same to the other side. I should have put my heat shrink on there already. But I'll do that now before I forget it. Because I don't want to have to take that back apart. There's that one. And then it goes to the black, which is right here beside. Let me get it up under just like I did the other one. Okay. So now actually, that the way it sits will run. So now all I've got to do is put a resistor on the lights. I can cut these wires down just a little bit. Let's see, which one is the blue? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my common, the fourth one up. Down below it is my yellow, which is, yellow is the rear light. So that'll be this white wire. My blues I will hook together and put a resistor on it, so I'll only need the one resistor. And I'll take, how do I want to do this? And do some of this wire here. There's that. Some flux on that. Trim this off a little bit. A little bit of flux. Now I can tin the end of my resistor. Tin that. Okay. Oop. Hit my monitor with the hot soldering iron. Luckily, it still had the protective plastic on it. Okay. I'm going to take and trim because our blue is our common wire. So it's going to be hooked to both front and rear lights. I actually put this on the wrong one. I can take solder this. Solder these two together. Now I'll put my piece of heat shrink in. So there's that. Close that lid. And we'll leave that one a little long. Well, actually, I really shouldn't, since the others aren't. off about there. Strip that. Get that fluxed up. Tin the end of it. Okay. Strip that off. Cut that one a little longer since it's the front. Okay. So now my front light is white, and it comes off of the it's this third one down here. There's that one. The rear is the third one up. Okay, now, what did I do with my resistor? So I've got my resistor, it'll go here. Let me put a piece of heat shrink in here. And let me get a little third hand back out. Once again, if I don't, okay, let that tip off a little bit. That. Cut that off. On those, on the metal, on the resistors, that's an acid-based flux. I find it lets the solder stick a lot better. I don't use it on the boards though, just on the resistors. And then that one goes right there in the middle. Just like that. So that is our complete setup. I can get all those shoved in. And that'll be our completed product when we go to fire this thing up. We'll take these wires, do a little bit of wire management, and I'll clean this up some. Some of this I'll tape into the shell. Most of it I'll put, I need to go and fool with this weight. Because I would like to still keep that in there, but for now I think I'm going to take and, before I get too far along, and we'll set it on the track and see if it works. So let me set that up and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my wires all, went back through, taped the wires down, made it look a little neater, and I took and I don't know, let me tilt this up. The weight I attached with double-sided tape to the bottom of the motor there, or not the bottom of the motor, the bottom of the body under the long hood. So we'll go ahead and flip that back over, get that where we need it. Let's see, get my screws. Oh, I did go through and I oiled it too. I didn't figure you needed to see me oil it. We'll go ahead and attach our body, and it just attaches below the fuel tank here. Oop. Down below the fuel tank here with a couple of screws. There's that. And then we have our fuel tank, and it has one screw there in the center. And why? Well, what did I do? I didn't have it all the way down on there to begin with. Okay, there, I've got that back down in there the right way. So I think I'll take it on the bottom of this while I've got it turned over there. I am going to put some gear lube. Yeah, I'm going to try to put some gear lube. and that'll work its way around once we get it moving. So let me set this back up on the test track. And hopefully it won't have that growl to it. Like I say, this didn't cost anything. This was, well, the initial cost, but the club's had it for a while. And like I say, this was an old decoder that I had, and we just wanted to replace the one that was in there. So that's so it still does, it has a little bit of a whine to it, and hopefully that will work out with time. But if not, you won't be able to hear it at the club anyway. I'll just let that run there for a while. But alright, that concludes this project. Alright, I've got it set up here on my test stand, and you can see I moved the camera around. Let's see. We'll get that set to 3, and I'll end up programming it to the cab address. Let's see. Okay, so there's our headlight works. And okay, we're moving forward. It's not the most elegant of runners, but just for something laying around and an old decoder, just to put it in. I'm glad I did at least grease that. I'll probably go through and put some oil on the motor. But it does work. And I'll go back through, and I still need to put the weight back on it. But other than that, we're done with this one. I will go ahead and, while I'm thinking about it, I'll change the address. Let's see. And that'll be a short address. Set it to 98. Okay. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I've still got a little bit of tweaking to do on it, but for the most part, it is in, and it does work.